he cannot lie because he's lying. And I challenge him to produce that particular part of the Hansard that I supported these draconian recommendations by Honorable Ruku. I challenge him to produce that. Because, and I want to tell
I will.
And I want to tell Eddie that although I come from the mountain, that I have always had my principles. And that is why, and I want to say it here, that's why I have never ever disrespected or insulted the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. That is Nyutu. And so I don't support things just because, other people are supporting it. I have my principles. I have my standing. And I challenge Eddie to bring that. I can never ever support oppression from whichever quarter, by the way. It's not just now that President Ruto is president. Any oppression of Kenyans from whichever quarter will meet, a very strong opposition from me, at least now that I have a voice. And whenever it is in my own little ways, I will never ever support oppression. I'll never ever support violation of human rights because I am a believer and I know that human life is sacred and we are here by right. By the way, every Kenyan you see around here, they are here by right. And I say it so many times. No Kenyan lives in Kenya at the pleasure of the president. It's our right. I can never ever support that. But now, I also want Eddie.
You and I must support this.
Senators,
must go against this bill when it comes to Senate.
Eddie, let me finish my submission.
Just 60 seconds so that we take a
Yes. So I very quickly I want to say, because Eddie has confused viewers, that it's when it's a member's private bill, it is squarely for that member. We have politicians work through others.
No.
When there is something, I'm a politician, Elachi, you cannot say no. When there is something that a politician wants to do, you have seen petitioners that you do not know, making a petition in court about very weighty matters that requires, very serious understanding. But they are sponsored and they petition as private individuals or as, as private voters. This happens. This happens. I'm saying it does not happen.
You yourself, talk about yourself.
Eddie, please.
Allow him to.
Eddie, please have table manners, Eddie. It's my time. You had your time.
We need to take a break, Senator.
Yes. So let me finish. You have to control. Eddie is getting overexcited. He's.
I'm not overexcited. I just have clarity.
So it happens. You can sponsor a bill through somebody, and I want to respond very quickly about the narrative Eddie is trying to peddle here is that this protest on last Wednesday was a Mount Kenya affair. That is what he's trying to say. I didn't say that. And I'm saying that is the impression you want to create by saying that there are no protests. It was not organic because there were no protests in Madare, there were no protests in Jakarta, there were no protests in Ibera. It is simple. You do not have to be intelligent to know why there were no protests. You only need to be somebody who lives in Kenya. Those are areas that are ODM support bases. ODM isn't government.
So are there
areas, of course, couldn't protest. But I want to inform you, just because maybe he doesn't know, there were also protests in Eldoret, in Mombasa, and in so many other places. So, let us, even as you are told by government, please go and do this, say this, create this narrative that it is one community's problem with the government, please, let us be fair and reasonable. We cannot afford, Eddie cannot afford to be this trivial. He's an intelligent person.
All right, the front page of the Daily Nation reads, Ruto's draconian bill on protests. It's the same headline on the front